And so we come to the last proper Wallace and Gromit film. Yeah, there were some TV shows and cameos in the future, but this is considered the true last hurrah for the duo. In their final ever-changing occupation, the pair are a very dynamic set of bakers and bread delivery men, and as usual, despite Wallace's quirky way of doing things, the pair are managing to do pretty well. However, Wallace ends up saving and falling for a former bakery spokeswoman, Paella Bakewell, and as per usual when Wallace gets a crush, Gromit gets shoved aside and ignored. But unlike the last time Wallace had a date, this one seems to be a bit more mysterious than the others, and Gromit tries to figure out her secret and subsequently save Wallace, whilst also getting the attention of Paella's poodle. Admittedly, there's not a lot to say about this special because it's basically what you'd expect it to be. The animation is still amazing, but there's not really been much improvement to the technology compared to the Were-Rabbit. The plot is intriguing, but it's the same sort of mysteries with the obvious villain from the get-go and Gromit trying to figure out the meaning behind it all. We've got the exciting set pieces, the thrilling climax, and the goofy scenarios, but that's it. There's really not much to say. Not to say that that's a bad thing. Wallace and Gromit are the kind of characters in films in general where you could just watch them hook up their TV and we'd be entertained by it. They're just that likeable, so it's always great to see them back. And admittedly, after the Were-Rabbit, this would feel like a step back anyway, though I do always find it odd how there seemed to be very little admission of continuity between the Wallace and Gromit shorts and films, but that's another matter. It does just feel like these characters have so much potential for comedic scenarios, and I'd love to see them go on and do more stuff, but of course the want for making everything look bigger and better than their previous venture is hard when they've already done a movie, so I can't really be that wishing on the whole thing. So as is, Loaf and Death is still great. It just feels a bit like a bit of been there, done that, but we still get some great moments, a lot of new and very good meta jokes, seems as if DreamWorks rubbed off on them more than they'd like to admit, and a great villain. While the villain wasn't as creepy as the moon robot, as memorable as Feathers McGraw, or scary as Preston, it was nice to have a baddie that Wallace and Gromit could actually have a proper conversation with for a change, being again a great combination of funny and intimidating like the Toad, with a fantastic voice by Loose Women's and Coronation Street's Sally Lindsay, who manages to make Paella, oh yeah, spoilers, Paella's the bad guy, though really who else would it be, both entertaining but also dire in the right moments. Overall, since this is the last major thing that Ed Miliband and Ed Balls' cartoons recreation have ever starred in, it does feel like a decent bookend to the franchise, though it does feel a bit open-ended since there was potential for more adventures after this. But I imagine that with Peter Salus's ongoing age and blindness, he probably wasn't in the best of shape to keep making new shorts, hence why future Wallace and Gromit ventures were mostly cameo appearances after that. Regardless of if it seems a bit derivative from last ventures, it's still great to see the pair again one last time, but in terms of Aardman's success as an animation company, well, it'll take a few more years yet to come up with something that really makes an impact.